Hey guys, welcome back. So I mentioned this before with my Sims 4 October cast challenge that I was doing casts for Sims 4, but for The Sims 2 I was going to be doing a build mode challenge. Unfortunately, I did lose the recording of this, but I built a cottage based on a cottage I found online. I think it was cartographersguild.com. That really described down to the nitty-gritty what the cottage should look like, what should be inside of it, and so I really tried to follow that as best as I could, like down to the 6 chickens, the 2 lambs, the crops that they were growing. And I'm really happy with it. Like, I think some of the medieval purists who sometimes get annoyed with me will definitely appreciate this one because it's pretty darn close to being perfect. The only thing it didn't have was the privy, and I added the chicken house just because. But other than that, yeah, this is spot on. I gave them, some hunting traps. There is a wolf trap, so if they do get wolves, I have to roll to see if anybody got injured or if any of the animals died. I just feel like that adds a little bit more realism. They've got some grain, some leafy greens, carrots, onions. We didn't have parsnips, so I think I put a different color onion down. The herb garden has exactly what it listed there. They're supposed to have some strawberries and an old wild cherry tree. I did add the pile of hay that they can jump on for body skill because that seemed feasible. I'm trying to see what... Oh, I realized that I only had 5 chickens instead of 6, and I was supposed to have 6. So I was like, yeah, we'll throw one of those down. But then I realized I didn't really like the orange chickens. I know that I replaced them. I think that I replaced them. I do. I think I replaced them. This is me pointing out the different crops and what they are. So lots of cabbages, kale, things like that. Sage, mint, thyme, and lavender for the herb bed. And they mentioned that they use it for laundry, so I put the laundry basket there. And we have the little privy, the trash can. And here we are inside. They were supposed to sleep on piles of hay, and I know there is a bed for that, but I don't have it installed in my game, so I just used that bedroll. There is a wall there to separate the bedroom, which is not accurate, but I decided it was necessary. So they just had a few flagstones on the floor. They had their little fire pit piled high with stones. The lambs and the ewe stayed indoors, and then they would probably be let out during the day. They had a cooking pot just kind of hanging there. They don't really have a stove, so I used that sack. They had a tub for washing up, they had wood on the inside. Like, I really, really tried to stick to it. The only thing that's different would be they have a counter that they didn't have in the description, and the brooder box. But other than that, this is pretty much down to the nitty-gritty exactly what the authors of that website kind of described. It's really actually fascinating. I'm gonna try to link it down below because they go into so much detail. I honestly thought about making The Sims before. I'm like, no, this is just supposed to be kind of a starter farm for when some of my other Sims grow up and need a place of their own. I'm gonna have some lots like this, and I'm gonna have a lot more lots too because this building challenge is going to be... Basically, I just had a list of all the different types of medieval buildings you'd expect to see, and so I'm going to put those in my Viking hood just to really flesh it out. A lot of them obviously are going to be community lots that are not owned, but hopefully in the future will be owned. I don't know if I'm going to let Sims go to them if they're not owned. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me here today. I hope you enjoyed this lot tour. I'm sorry that I did a voiceover. I totally spaced. And sometimes it's easier to do voiceovers, which is funny because I used to not like them. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Comment if you have any ideas or suggestions, or if you just liked the lot, if you're happy that I went a little bit more pure with the style. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.